45 minutes past the hour of 8 and you're still watching Sunrise at Sea, just in time for the second conversation here on Our Views. Well, happy endings are clearly not for everyone, especially when it comes in the line of marriage. And for very many people, marriage would be the ultimate goal in their lives. However, for some, it's not really a big deal. But you know how the song that Beyonce sang, and she said, if you like it, please put a ring on it. And that is what we're going to be discussing this morning. How long should you wait as a woman before a man proposes to you? Or how long should you wait as a woman before you actually get an engagement ring? And what are the signs that he's giving you a hash ring? Because nowadays, by the way, a hash ring is, you know what, you've talked too much, you've been pestering me that I should put a ring on it. Okay, I've given you a ring. Can you keep quiet? And they usually do this with no intention of marrying you. Interesting. And that is what we're going to be discussing this morning. And of course, joining me, other ladies, and I'm sure you saw them in Our Views Part 1, is Sandra and Sarah. So ladies, time is not on our best side. However, let's cut right to the chase. How long should a woman wait in a relationship before she walks out if the man hasn't proposed to her?
I feel it's between the two people. It varies from person to person because women are different ages. Maybe if you are heading on to your 40s, you feel like, you know what? Because the biological clock is ticking. Many women want to have children and they don't want to go into their 40s having children. But if you're much younger, then you have more time. Yes? But it depends with the partner that you're with. I feel when you see someone that you want to be with, outline the reason you want to be with them and then manage it. Many people just assume. So don't assume. Sit with this guy and tell him, you know what? After 2 years, you have a period of 2 years. That's the timeline. After 2 years, if you haven't proposed to me, I'm going to keep it moving. Because you're going to cut me off from other potential prospects. And don't waste my time. Let's not do this dance. After 2 years, if you're not ready, it's okay.
Bye-bye.
There's nothing wrong. But boss, if you cannot stand up and be the man I need you to be, you need to sit down so I can see the ones behind you. Yes. Don't keep traffic here.
Hallelujah.
You're cutting me off from
Preach,
other.
sister.
Yes. So it depends on how you decided with the man. If he starts dilly-dallying, tell him, you know what? I want to see other people.
Yes. So
see them, and for you, while you're making up your mind, me, I'm seeing other potential prospects.
If you cannot rise up to be the man that Sandra wants you to be, sit down so that you can see the ones ahead. How about you, Sarah?
For me, you see, marriage is not what it used to be. Back then, they arranged your marriage. They tell you next week you're getting married.
No, but this is about engagement.
I understand. This is what I'm saying, but it leads up to marriage. So marriage is not what it used to be. And engagement periods back then were quite short. People were engaged for even a few hours. But for me, I think that women should not wait. Don't wait. Because we focus and waste so much time hoping for the future, planning for the future, as opposed to enjoying this moment. Absolutely. For me, enjoy the moment as it is. Take the day as it is. If he proposes, he proposes. If he doesn't, should the day come when you're tired of waiting and you find somebody else who is more serious, then move on to that. But don't wait.
For me, in my perspective, I believe when it comes to engagement, first of all, from the word go, even when you begin dating, and it's in relation to what Sandra highlighted, know how long you want to be dating. You cannot be... Well, there are people, it varies again, because I know a couple that dated for 6 years and got married. They were staying together, they were dating, literally they were actually cohabiting, but they got married after 7 years. So it really varies. Is that a situation that you're comfortable with, or would you prefer him to put a ring on it? However, before we answer the question, because some men would say that we are the reasons as to why we do not actually get the engagement rings, because we are enabling men. Why? You're doing housewife duties. You're doing housewife duties at girlfriend price. Does that make sense?
Yes,
you're cooking for him, you're cleaning for him, you're making his meals, you're constantly at his place. Why should he propose to you? However, I have a video for you to watch.
You've been dating him for 5 years and he still hasn't proposed? I've got news. He doesn't want to marry you.
Where is your ring, girl?
Has he put a deposit on the venue? Has he booked the strippers for his bachelor's party? I didn't think so. Girl, wake up.
So, ladies, I'll point it back again. Do you think that us as women, we are enabling men not to propose to us because we are not stating what we want from the relationship, from the word go? But also, are we doing things that literally a wife who is married should be doing?
But again, why are you saying that women are doing wife duties at girlfriend price? Is that he also not doing husband duties at boyfriend price? Is that he not paying your rent, buying your fuel?
That is assuming that he's doing those things.
Yes, but there are men who are doing that. So I think it is wrong for us to make this one-sided. Another thing, this is the thing, just because you have waited 5 years does not mean he does not plan on marrying you. Perhaps those 5 years, he's using that time so that he can put himself in a more suitable financial position. I think women should stop feeling entitled to being married. You feel like it is a reward because you washed the dishes. Sit down. Do something else with your life. Keep yourself occupied. He will marry you when he wants to marry you. And if he doesn't want to, move on. Period. Point period blank.
You know, I think why this happens is because people are not clear from the get-go.
Yes.
Women don't like to talk about things head on. They just sit and assume, and they hint, and they say, oh, my friend is getting married, oh, my this and that. First of all, you need to ask yourself, do you want to get married? Are you ready to get married? Because man, I remember my single life, it was fun. Oh my goodness, it was. And that is the time to enjoy your life. I'm telling you, rock stars had nothing on me. So why do you want to jump that stage? Enjoy it to the fullest, because when you move on to your next chapter, things are different.
Exactly.
Marriage life is good as well, but it's different. It's not like the single, but the single life is amazing as well. But to answer your question, I think people are not clear about what they want.
Yes.
Assumptions are the termites to any relationships. Then you start thinking, why isn't he proposing? Why isn't this? Why isn't this that? But on the flip side, I feel that we should just forget this engagement thing altogether. Because men, they give hush rings just to keep the woman
Silence you,
quiet.
no intention
And
of
then they
marriage.
just put you on the shelf. They put you there, they put you there. I think the engagement ring should come with the wedding ring on that day. Because men don't get engagement rings. They don't walk around saying, oh,
I'm
you
engaged.
know what, I'm
I'm
booked,
taken,
I'm taken. No,
So
they
what-
don't have, so why do we need to have?
What are those signs that what are those telltale signs that you're able to tell that, you know what, he's not planning to propose to you anytime soon? Girl, you have to walk.
This is the thing. The only telltale sign is that he has not proposed, period. That is the only sign. Because when he wants to, he's going to. Ladies, stop feeling entitled to marriage. I don't know why you treat it like a reward. Because wedding day is just one day. The marriage is what you should be planning and thinking about. Is this a man I want to spend the rest of my life with, or sleep next to, a man who snores? Is that what you really want? Stop feeling like you should be rewarded for it because you washed dishes and cooked food.
Okay, well, taking a look at signs that he doesn't plan to take you to the altar, or actually some of those signs you can be able to tell that he's not planning to propose to you anytime soon. 1, he doesn't move the relationship forward. 2, he's told you that he doesn't ever plan to get married. Now, there are men that you meet and you say, babe, what do you think about marriage? And they're like, no, I do not plan to get married. If marriage is something that you're looking for, or if you want him to propose to you and he says that comment, it's time for you to run. And I do not think it should be, I mean, depending on the kind of person that you are, depending on the kind of woman that you are, if a proposal or if marriage is something that you hold dear, then your partner should be able to also hold the idea of marriage as profound as you hold it. Well, the third is he downplays the seriousness of your relationship. And then another one, you haven't met his family. Let me tell you, if you have not met his family, he's taking you nowhere, including his friends. He becomes defensive when you ask about the future. He makes continuous excuses not to get married. He refuses to talk about the marriage or even changes the topic. You have been together for a long time and there are clearly no signs of proposing. Well, let's take a look at some of the responses we had on social media in regard to this question, because we posted, how long should you wait? And our first tweet comes in from @Benan Lukota, and he says, it just depends on the two people in that particular relationship. For some, it can be immediately as 1 week. Others, it may take forever. You just have to give destiny the will. The third comes in from @Satem, and he says, a decision such as getting engaged should not be based on age, but I beg your pardon, should not be based on age, but maturity and other factors until you have ticked most of the boxes. Keep calm. Besides, you are not a factory product that you have an expiry date. Yes, you do actually. Well, Bright Brian says engagement shouldn't be based on age. I don't think 30 is an expiry age for getting engaged. One might consider age as a yardstick and things might not go so well after, and yet little waiting made save. And finally, our last response, they shouldn't wait. If they actually have a partner that is serious, let them be straightforward with him and demand for a ring. For me, I just want to say this: age is but just a number. However, you also do not want to, to wait around for long. Well, that winds up the conversation that we had for you this morning on Our Views. Well, all good things come to an end. However, before we go, I would like to send a special message to one of our fans, and his name is Abdul Muwonge. Happy birthday. Thank you for watching Sunrise at Sea, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Be blessed, and I wish you many, many more years. Well, that is all we had for you on this episode of Sunrise at Sea, but join us again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is, and from me, Sunrise at Sea. Keep it locked right here at CTV. Bye-bye.